Hello.
Did you just thumbs down us, Big Mike? It looked like you went like this. Oh. It felt aggressive and personal.
He gives us a big thumbs down to start the show. Welcome back, everybody, after Memorial Weekend. It was nice. It was fun.
And not too hot. Like there was a pool. We went to the pool on Friday.
Okay.
And we were all chilly. We're like, ooh, it's cold in the shade. Because Friday, I think maybe like 70 degrees. And then yesterday, I think was the hottest. And it wasn't even that hot. It was just lovely, lovely weekend.
It really was.
Had a great
Neighborhood
weekend.
pools opening. Yeah, well, that was kind of fun.
Did yours
wasn't it?
open?
Yeah, it did.
Did you swim?
It did. No, I didn't.
Did you see a lot of neighborhood families from last year that, caused a scene?
Oh, no.
Any new drama?
No, nothing. There's always one in every neighborhood, right?
There is.
We had a humdinger.
We
had a humdinger of a mom and dad that caused some pretty big issues at the pool.
Yeah, and you've got another couple that, always brings the same thing to the pool, like the snacks and all that. Oh, it's so fun to watch.
My pool is a really fun place to observe people. There is this couple, and they get the same chairs, and they don't have children that come to the pool, and they're older and retired. And I'm like, God, I want to be you so bad. And then they will DoorDash like different things. So it'll be like McDonald's lunch, Dunkin' Donut drinks, this for a snack. And it's just very fascinating. Very fascinating case study of people.
Goals, summer goals right there.
Let's dive right into a couple of things. Let's stick with the summer topic here and the hanging out over the weekend, graduation parties. I went to a graduation party, and it was they had a family game that they started. Somebody in their family they were there from Arkansas, and they're like they get in a circle, and we're kind of seeing it out of the corner of our eye that starts in the yard, and they start flipping a knife, like a buck knife, like a jackknife, jackknife, not like a kitchen knife. It was like a buck knife, and they're doing this, and then they start flipping it off their like arm, and then they start flipping it off their knee, and apparently they had a family game that they used to play growing up in Arkansas. You have to flip the knife, and if it sticks in the ground, you get a point. And if it misses, then the next person gets to pick like what body part you flip it off of. All these rules that sound so crazy and bizarre for somebody who didn't grow up playing it, but they were all like, oh no, it's totally a family game.
Glad it's not a drinking game with a knife involved. Jeez.
Well, I wouldn't say at the point when they played it, there hadn't already been like I think leading up to let's get the knife out and throw it, there's probably enough of that. But you had similar.
I mean, well, that's a glimpse into somebody's life that you probably never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Every family has their weird thing. We did jarts growing up. We did this thing called Hammerschlagen, and this is actually fairly new to our family and stuff. But you get a big stump. Like I'm talking stump that you like sit on, big stump.
Like a tree stump.
Yeah,
you gotta find one.
You start, you put some nails in there, and then you get your hammer, and you flip your hammer, and as you catch it, you have to hit a nail. Okay?
Yeah.
You have your own nail, right? So everybody's got a nail, and you got to hit your own nail. And then the last person with a nail up, I think, loses.
Yeah.
I think those are
So there's a myriad of things with that one too. You're throwing a hammer in
Throwing
the air.
a hammer.
You're having to catch it with the handle and then hit hard.
Yeah.
If you miss the nail, you could just impale yourself with the nail.
Absolutely.
All those things. And it seems so normal when you grow up with that. And then you realize when other people outside the family see it, you're like, oh God. Sorry.
I know.
It's just all very weird.
There's another one we do called Polish horseshoes that everybody have you ever seen it?
No.
Okay, so if you come to my house this summer for a backyard barbecue, if I have one, I'll bring out Polish horseshoes. It's super fun, but it's more of it's kind of a drinking game where you have to have a drink in one hand and you throw a Frisbee in your other to there's picture horseshoes, right?
Yeah.
So instead of horseshoes, it's PVC pipes. So there's a big pole coming out of the ground.
You pound PVC in your ground.
Pound it in the ground. It's probably 5 feet tall, and you balance a beer bottle up there.
Empty?
Okay? Empty. And so you're throwing a Frisbee to try to knock the beer bottle off so you can hit the stick, you can hit the pole or the bottle, but you have to keep your beer. And so as the other team is throwing it at you, you have to catch it. So that's where holding a drink in one hand comes into play because you can only really catch and throw with one hand. and you're trying to defend and all this. It's super fun. You're going to love it. You'll become addicted. You'll go to Home Depot to buy PVC on your way home from my party.
Yeah.
I've had many people do it. They're like, oh my God, this game is awesome. And it really is. It's fun. It's called Polish Horseshoes.
If you're trying to hit the beer bottle off of the PVC pipe, can people get in front of the pipe?
Not
to
in front of the
defend?
pipe, but they can catch the beer. If they catch the beer bottle, then
Oh, they want to catch the beer bottle, not the frisbee.
you have to catch the frisbee.
Oh,
You've got two
geez.
people on
Okay,
each side.
all right.
So like you're trying to catch the if you don't catch the frisbee, that's a point for the other team.
Okay.
You have to catch the frisbee.
A lot of interaction.
A lot of interaction, but it is so
yeah.
fun. It's high paced.
With the knife throwing game I saw over the weekend, you just back up. You know,
Yeah,
you
I
back
bet.
up. Like, yeah.
Did everybody come out of that party with all their toes?
They did. It was so silly to like watch it because like everyone was laughing about it, and all of a sudden there's a crowd, and then there's more of a crowd. Whoever loses that knife game, by the way, has to dies. Yes, they go to the ER. They have to take the knife out of the ground with their teeth. Like it's so.
Did
funny.
anybody do that at the party?
Yeah.
Did you do that?
He worked. No, I did not do that. Mom, is that you?
Just on all four.
Yeah. That's Tracy. She lives down the street. She's got 3 kids. Yeah, that's just she.
Have you guys ever heard of Domino's or something?
Boring.
I know.
Boring.
I know.
What's the name of that knife game? Did you ever find out?
I can't remember. If you start our country music conversation, I will text and see if they
let's
get
start
back
that.
to me.
Yeah, text them.
Okay.
Rolling Stone just put out their list of the top 200 country songs of all time. That's a lot of country songs to like go through. So we need to talk about the songs that barely made the list and the songs that made the top 10 songs that barely made the list. Can you believe Beyonce made the list?
Yeah, I can.
No, what?
I can.
The song's been out.
Yeah.
It hasn't been out long enough.
I can because Rolling Stone put it out.
Yep.
And they always like to do things that get people
Trolling
a little
us.
bit.
You're trolling us, Rolling
So
Stone.
yeah, I can believe that they did that just to get to talk to. I can also believe the fact that they in the top 50 of the greatest songs of all time in country music, about 45 of them were prior to like 1960.
May the circle.
You know, like
be unbroken.
Yeah.
That song came out in like 1934. That made top 5. The Carter family.
yes, like Maybelle Carter, like Johnny Cash's in-laws.
I mean,
are
it's
on
a
the
banger,
list
but
a ton of
still.
time. Yeah, you know, so there's great things. I know. Yeah, Big Mike, the Zach Bryan, Something in the Orange, coming at 196 and Texas Hold'em 194. No, it's cool that Something in the Orange made the list anyway, but it's 200 songs. I had a real issue with Jolene being the #1 country song of all time because I don't even think it's Dolly's best song. She's so fantastic. I love that it is Dolly.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know, man.
I like that Dolly's #1. I like that Jolene is on the list. I don't know if it should be #1 either.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Music is subjective, and it's always going to, you know, create a conversation because nobody's going to agree, right?
Right.
But, you know,
When you look at songs,
I Will Always
like,
Love You by Dolly is way better.
It's a great one. Yeah. When you look at songs like I Hope You Dance from Leanne Womack.
Yeah.
Huge song in the 90s. Fantastic song. Like that was
Yeah.
a song that should be on the list. You look at songs like even like Springsteen or God, I mean George Strait did make the top 10, so I'll give him that with Amarillo, by Morning.
That song was so big, my mom just went on a road trip just to go because that's
To Amarillo.
Amarillo because George Strait sang about it.
Live Like You Were Dying from Tim McGraw. That would be up there. The River, or well, I'll say The River, but also The Dance from Garth Brooks.
See, I think the dance should be
Jeez.
higher than, you know,
Like
a lot of them. 'Cause
100? Yeah.
The dance is, man, that's like the song that'll stop you every time. Every time.
Okay. We didn't get a chance to do because for time on the show, our top 3. We can explore the space here a little bit on our top 3. Really what they would be. And it'll change by the time this show ends. Like we'll already change our own list.
No.
I
that's
would
a
say
great question.
In Color to me from Jamie Johnson.
Why can't I think of that song? You've mentioned it 3 times now, and I can't for the life of me.
It's such a great song. Like that is it's James Otto wrote it. It's the Grandpa, what's this picture here? Black and white. You should have seen it in color.
I don't think
If we
I've ever
look
heard
like we
that
were
song.
scared to death. Oh man, it's such a good song. I think that's definitely one of the top country songs of all time.
Really?
Yeah, you listen to it on the way home. It's
But
one
it's-
of the best. I'll say it again. It's one of the best country songs of all time, in my opinion.
What's it called?
In color.
In Color
Yeah.
by Jamie Johnson.
Yeah.
I got
Typing it.
Garth
in.
Brooks, Friends in Low Places. I did that. That's my karaoke song now.
Garth number 3.
I think, you know what? Because I'm a gambler. Kenny Rogers, the gambler.
Yeah.
Gambler. And then Jelly Roll.
You gonna put Jelly Roll?
I like some Jelly Roll. I'll put them up a bunch of people.
Hey, it's your
Hey,
list, buddy. You can
Hey,
do whatever you
we'll throw
want.
some Jelly Roll on there.
Which Jelly Roll? You got to pick one.
Oh, well, I mean,
Save Me with Lainey Wilson.
no.
That's a good one.
Why am I spacing from his very first single?
It won't
Son
let
of a
me
Sinner?
click through.
I'm going away.
Yeah,
no, you're
favorite
fine.
song of yours, huh?
You're
Good job.
Yeah.
One of
I
your
would
favorites.
say also he stopped loving her today.
That's in top 10.
Oh my god.
That's on
you
the
know?
list. Yeah.
That song will
George Jones.
every single time make me cry.
Yep.
Every single time. Pen to paper, I don't see in any format a song better than that one.
Now, why that song is what from the we'll say 50s?
I guess I don't, yeah, I would say 50s, but
George
60s,
Jones. Okay.
60s maybe.
Has an artist remade that song?
Not that I know of, and I
Is
hope
it
not.
because it's such a great song, and when you think of that song, you think of George Jones, and nobody wants to touch it? Because
Yeah.
you would think by now somebody would have covered that with some success. I'm sure a bunch of artists do it.
Yeah.
But to have like a, you know,
It's that one is just one of those where it like vocally, even like I said, pen to paper, but vocally, there's no matching George Jones. His voice is an instrument on that song.
Yep.
You know, so like that's what made it too. It was just a perfect blend. And he didn't want to record it. He did not want to record that song. He was like, no one's gonna buy this song. There was a story down in one of the times we went to Nashville, one of the songwriters that was in the Hall of Fame was talking about it, and he specifically told that story about how George Jones came in drunk, of course, because it's George Jones. And he was like, no one's going to buy this expletive because it's too sad. And then he recorded it that night, and that's the take they used. It's pretty incredible.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy by Patsy Cline
Crazy
was
by
number
Patsy
3
Cline.
on the list. And
Yeah.
that definitely needs to be top 5.
Yeah.
It's so iconic. Crazy.
I would agree with that one for sure. I mean, if you throw like
for
Willie, you know, with Willie like writing that song, you can hear obviously his cadence in it. He made the list down a lot deeper with like Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain and all that. So yeah, it's a pretty interesting list that we dove into this morning. But I mean, well, again, what would your 3 be? Would it be Patsy Cline?
No.
I'm not sure if you're doing your
Not
3
me
or
per-
if it's
not my
yeah,
personal.
your personal. What would be your personal?
I like The Dance by Garth Brooks. That
Yeah.
song will stop me every time. What's the I like Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn,
Oh my, yeah,
right?
yeah, that one was on that list too.
I mean, very much I don't want to say overplayed, but when that song was out, you heard it everywhere.
Yeah.
I never got tired of it to this day. If it comes on, I'll try to
believe,
dance to
too,
it.
from
And I'm
Brooks
so
and
excited
Dunn.
this Friday night to hear Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah. I believe is another really sad. Brooks and Dunn's sad songs are
I
what's
know,
made the
I
list.
know.
That song is like
I know.
such a tearjerker.
And
Drive by Daddy Jean, or with Daddy Jean, that Alan Jackson one. That one should be on there. Daddy Let Me Drive.
oh yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Come Over by Kenny Chesney is still in my, I know, right?
A Sam Hunt right.
I
making it.
know. God, that song
I
gets me
do love
still.
him,
What's
yeah.
your top 3?
Well, I said it was Jamie Johnson in Color.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one.
Yes. And then it was George Jones.
Oh,
Stopped
you,
Loving
you,
Her
you
Today.
put that on your list? Okay.
Yes, those are the ones that
And
were on
what's
my
your
list.
third?
Patsy Cline.
Patsy
Crazy.
Cline
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, those would be my top 3. Yeah. Good
No.
times.
No Shabuzi, huh?
No Shabuzi.
Not yet?
Give it a year. That's right to the top. All right, you guys. Have a fantastic day.